Welcome to NTN Nightly. I am Janelle Norville. This edition's top stories. The Ministry of Health urges vaccination against COVID-19 as 18 deaths are recorded over a 6-day period. Hundreds of partially vaccinated Saint Lucians are called upon to take their second dose. And the Castries Southeast Constituency Council mandated to improve lives. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs continues to steer the national response mechanism to COVID-19. Minister Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste has announced an extension of the protocols commencing Wednesday, 22 September 2021. More on that in a moment. First, a look at the overall COVID-19 situation. The ministry has noted a slight decrease in the transmission rate. The daily infection rate for the past week was 47.9 per 100,000 per day and an average of 86.9 cases per day. The Ministry of Health on Tuesday, 21st September, reported the loss of 18 lives for the period September 14 to 19, 2021. Officials say one of the deaths is COVID-19 related and 17 are COVID-19 deaths. All of the individuals were unvaccinated and the majority are from Castries and Beaufort. 10 were male and 8 were female. Dr. Sharon Belmar-George says such widespread deaths from COVID-19 are avoidable if persons get vaccinated.
In relation to this new wave, 5,077 persons were positive, 51% in the age group 25 to 49 years, 58% of the cases are female. The majority of the cases are from Castries, Grosile, Beaufort and Babonneau. Based on contact tracing data, the majority of the cases diagnosed are related to workplaces and spread between families. From the review of the epidemiological curve, we are at a plateau at this point, and we note reduced transmission rate. To date, from the positive cases diagnosed in country, less than 2% have been fully vaccinated. 98% of the COVID-19 deaths and COVID-19 related deaths at the respiratory hospital were unvaccinated. The 2% of the deaths who were fully vaccinated had other serious underlying health conditions which contributed to their demise.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George. Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste has welcomed the decline in the transmission rate as encouraging, noting that the adherence to protocols is having the desired impact. As such, Honorable Jean-Baptiste is urging the public to continue to follow the measures and take the necessary steps to become vaccinated.
I extend heartfelt condolences to the families of all those who have passed away as a result of COVID-19 or COVID-19 related illness. It is a difficult time for you, and may God grant you and your families strength and peace. At this stage, we note the overall reduction in the transmission rate. But as the medical professionals have explained, we are still at a critical phase and we cannot let our guard down. We must ensure that we continue to bring down the transmission rate. After discussions and dialogue with the members of the COVID-19 Management Center, the decision was made to extend the COVID-19 protocols currently in place until the end of September. We hope by that time, amended protocols will include benefits for fully vaccinated individuals. The government continues to urge you to get vaccinated and will intensify our efforts to make the vaccine available to you in the best way possible. The extended protocols shall commence on Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021, and end on Thursday, September 30th, 2021. The COVID-19 protocols are the same as the last 2 weeks.
Health Minister Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs continues on its mandate to ensure that the population is vaccinated for protection against the COVID-19 virus. As of Saturday, 18 September 2021, 43,431 first doses and 29,146 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered, 7 months since the introduction of the vaccine to the population. 16.1% of the population has received the 2 recommended doses of the vaccine. The highest uptake of vaccines remains amongst the 50 years and older age group, followed by those 24 to 49 years. Tekla Jean-Baptiste is the Assistant Principal Nursing Officer and National Immunization Manager.
Over the past weeks, the significant rise in reported cases and deaths is clearly a concern to us all. The burden on the health system is evident. It is important that every one of us plays our part in addressing this situation. Each one of us has a personal responsibility in the fight against this pandemic. We have noted unfavorable outcomes in persons of varying age groups and health profiles. Some vaccinated, whilst the significant majority were not. Our condolences to the families and loved ones of these individuals. From February 2021, when vaccines were introduced, until current, statistics show that unvaccinated persons account for 96.6% of hospitalizations.
Jean-Baptiste says there is a significant number of persons who are partially vaccinated with only 1 dose of the vaccine. 1,843 persons, 4.2% of the total vaccinated in country, are overdue for their 2nd dose of the vaccine.
Partially vaccinated persons account for 2% of hospitalizations. Fully vaccinated persons account for 1.4% of hospitalizations. Unvaccinated persons account for 96.7% of deaths. Partially vaccinated persons account for 2% of deaths, whilst vaccinated persons account for 1.3% of deaths.
Ms. Jean-Baptiste reiterated that vaccines save lives as it reduces the risk of hospitalization and death. In other COVID-19 related developments, government has heightened efforts at ensuring a safe environment for visitors and nationals through the implementation of the Tourism Health Program. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, continues to work with Saint Lucia to fully implement the Tourism Health Program, THP. The program aims to strengthen the island's capacity to respond to public health threats, improve the health, safety and security of locals and visitors, and to build tourism resilience, reputation and economic sustainability. CARPHA's Director of Surveillance, Disease Prevention and Control, Dr. Lisa Indar, explained that the implementation of the program will give St. Lucia an added advantage of promoting surveillance and other measures for healthier, safer tourism. Representatives of CARPHA and relevant agencies in St. Lucia recently held a meeting so as to decide the way forward.
We have a schedule of activities that actually started on Friday, where we had high-level meetings with the ministers of Health and Tourism, Chief Medical Officer, and the Saint Lucia Hotel and Tourism Authority, where we are coming together to develop a plan. The meeting that was held today is to really develop a plan of action, how we can best, be able to have an implementation strategy specific for Saint Lucia. That is, for Saint Lucia's capacity, for their tourism capacity, hotels and guest houses and yachts and so on. Following that, this afternoon we will be a training on how to use the system. And then tomorrow to Tuesday, we will have advanced food safety training with certification, which is an international certification. Then on Tuesday afternoon, we will have a meeting on improving cruise ship surveillance.
St. Lucia has been working with CARPHA for some 4 years now in the development of the Tourism Health Program. Given the country's heavy reliance on the tourism industry as its main revenue earner, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar George noted that as the number of arrivals increase, so does the risk of introduction of diseases. She explained that the program will aid in boosting the country's capacity to respond to public health threats.
So this program, it strengthens the country's capacity to manage, to detect, first of all, in a timely manner, any initial or early infections that may come in, and also to be able to manage them in a very efficient way. So it really improves the health and safety of our people and also of the tourism sector as well. So it makes it a lot safer. One of the very important aspects of the program is the training that is done at the level of the workers, the officers, and it includes both the accommodation sector, like the various hotels, and also the added activities related to the tourism industry. So the restaurants, the yachting, the cruise ship, all of those sectors would be a part of the program.
CAFA facilitated a resensitization of industry operators in the Tourism Health Information System, TIS, on Monday 20th September and is facilitating a 3-day advanced food safety training certification workshop from Tuesday 21st September to Thursday 23rd September for environmental health officers, hoteliers and restaurateurs, and a stakeholder consultation on cruise ship surveillance assessment on Thursday 23rd September. From the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville. The new executive of the Castries Southeast Constituency Council has been sworn in. Hamadi Mark has the details.
The Castries Southeast Constituency Council on Wednesday saw the installment of 11 new representatives to the constituency's local government organization. The swearing-in ceremony of the new councillors took place at Dayglow Valley Basket. Present at the ceremony were Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for housing and local government, Honorable Richard Frederick, and Minister for Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, and Parliamentary Representative for Castries Southeast, Honorable Joachim Henry. Mario Boyce, upon taking an oath of office, now serves as the chairperson of the Castries Southeast Constituency Council.
I, Mario Boyce,
having been duly appointed
to
the office of chairperson
for
the Castries Southeast Constituency Council, pursuant to Part 2, Section 5 of the Constituency Councils Act, Number 1 of 2012, do hereby affirm that I will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of such office without fear or favor or ill will, and to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God.
Minister for Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment and Parliamentary Representative for Castries Southeast, Honorable Joachim Henry said in selecting the council, he ensured that every quadrant of the constituency was represented.
And you would discover that the councillors may find in themselves they are not strangers, but you all belong to Castries Southeast and would have served in time past in one way or the other. So these persons who would be standing before you to take an oath to lead in terms of empowering our people are from the various parts, communities of Castries Southeast, but also with a history of serving people themselves.
Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for housing and local government, Honorable Richard Frederick, encouraged the newly appointed councillors to consider the needs of the people of Castries Southeast in their decision-making processes.
Today we are installing a local government. You all will be the government of Castries Southeast. You all have to be a government of a difference. You have to be a government of the people. You have to be a government that listens to the people, and you have to be a government that delivers for the people. What I exhort you not to do is to take your own fanciful ideas and impose on the people.
The swearing-in of the Castries Southeast Constituency Council took place on 22 September 2021. From the Government Information Service, Hilmadi Mark reporting.
This is NTN Nightly. Primus Hutchinson is up next. Stay with us.
C'est l'année 2019 et puis l'année 2020. Le gouvernement passe des lois pour régler cette pratique qui a concerné la santé publique. Première, changement loi contre les femmes. Deuxième loi, c'était pour empêcher les femmes en pièces, place publique, telles que cabaret, bar, restaurant, lance, abord transport public, abord taxi, et puis en pièces place réservées pour moun batché et puis débatché, n'importe quel transport. C'est obligation nous toutes pour connaître et puis respecter ces lois pour assurer santé nous et puis protéger nous contre toi. Si la loi soit coupable, et bien pièce business coupable agit contre des lois la loi a ordonné payer à la main $5,000 pour moun qui n'y agit personnellement et puis $10,000 pour pièce business. C'est pour nous changer qui, en temps maladie COVID-19 qui nous filme nous-mêmes, et bien mettez nous en situation pour nous septembre, c'est l'habitude qui dangereux pour santé nous. À nous toutes décider pour faire génération une génération sans fumée.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, supported by Powell on this station.
Welcome back. We join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle à Creole.
Merci autant, Janelle. Messieurs et Mesdames, département qui a une responsabilité pour information en gouvernement cette fois-ci, c'est GIS, en CMP Télévision Nationale PIA NTN, qui a posé une nouvelle en Creole, posé Primus Hutchinson. Gouvernement, j'ai pris une décision pour ajouter encore à ce protocole pour protection de la maladie corona. Le ministre des Affaires Santé et Affaires les plus citoyens à cette fois-ci, honorable Moses Jabatis, a adressé la nation à ce chef officier médical Dr. Sharon Belma George et directeur pour l'hôpital Victoria Dr. Alicia Eugene Ford. Le ministre a déclaré que cette fois-ci a d'ailleurs une position qui est très critique, alors il est nécessaire pour nous tous coopérer pour essayer de baisser à ce degré que la maladie a s'immergé en pays. Honorable ministre de la Santé, Moses Baptiste, remarqué qu'après discussion et puis centre de management pour la maladie corona, il y a pris une décision pour ajouter à ce protocole qui est déjà en place pour juste finissement mars-septembre 2021. À ce rapport, le ministre Baptiste, ce protocole-là a commencé mercredi, le 22 septembre 2021, et pour bout le 30 septembre 2021. C'est même quand qui déjà existé pour ces 2 semaines qui passaient. Que FIOA a commencé lundi pour vendredi depuis 7h soir pour jusqu'à 4h demain bon matin. Le samedi, que FIOA a commencé depuis 4h après-midi et qu'à bout lundi à 4h bon matin. Ça veut dire 24 heures de temps que FIOA le dimanche là. Selon le ministre là, la bagaille une pièce la vente rhum avec l'autre alcool anti-cabaret aussi gros cabaret avec les restaurants. Les supermarchés, ça veut dire supermarket, station qui vendent pétrole avec les gros boutiques qui vendent à grand bruit qui n'y ont licence qui en ordre ni permission pour vendre mais personne pas supposé servir c'est les caisses là pendant yo en place business là. Les patrons qui seulement ça acheter manger à des restaurants eh bien un établissement manger mais yo pas ni permission pour assis en place ça là pour manger. Alors c'est en acheter et partie la même. Toute activité sociale en un hôtel qui ça fait seulement à son propriétaire du Wankofioa et l'autre activité sociale à sous la mer et activité sport à sous la mer j'ai trouvé suspend du 24 heures de temps. En finissement semaine depuis dimanche à 4h après-midi pour lundi à 4h le bon matin. Ministre Moses Baptiste a annoncé que durant la période ça là gouvernement cette aussi qui acide et puis les go des centres pour management maladie corona pour ça réviser situation et pour présenter plus d'informations concernant des guilles. Ministre Baptiste a noté tous ces sacrifices là que le peuple a fait et cassé parti et puis toute la famille qui a perdu mamio par maladie corona. Ministre Santé a plaidé et puis peuple pays là pour continuer à suivre et obéir ce protocole là et pour ça one dose pour ça prendre ces doses la vaccine pour nous ça gagner à bout mauvais pandémie ça là. Ministère de Santé en continuation pour ménagement des pèse maladie corona en pays, j'accueille à ce public là pour prendre plus bonne responsabilité pour gagner bataille contre la pandémie. Selon le ministère de la Santé, depuis le 25 juillet, pour les présents, la journée totale de 5.077 cas, et ça veut dire 99 cas par jour. Ils ont annoncé aussi pour période ça la tenue 58 personnes qui morts en résultat de maladie corona. 52% c'était femmes et la majorité des gens qui morts c'était en l'âge de 70 l'année. Il y a aussi découvert qu'il à peu près 86,9 personnes qui sont affectées tous les jours. Chef officier médical Dr. Sharon Belma George déclare que depuis le 25 mois de juillet 2021, 5.077 personnes étaient positifs et la majorité est sortie à Paris, Castries, Gozili, Vieux-Fort et Babono. Si un mois fait comprendre, la majorité c'est qu'à sortir, la sortie en place de travail et 6 mois à parmi la famille. Dr. Belma George dit aussi, à présent, il est capable qui c'est qu'à pencher en descendant. Mais il y a aussi ces cas qui sont positifs, moins qui 10% j'ai trouvé toute dose de la vaccine. Si un mois annoncé que 98% en ces mois par corona, c'est les gens qui peuvent compter pour la vaccine, c'est seulement 2% la mort côté les gens qui ont déjà trouvé la vaccine, et que aussi c'est les gens qui ont souffert et puis l'autre complication santé. Dr. Sharon Belma George dit que le 21 septembre, la tenue yon la mort en résultat du corona et 17 la mort par direct de maladie corona. Mais toutes ces morts là, c'était des gens qui partaient vaccinés et qui c'était Jean Castries et Vieux-Fort, 10 hommes et 8 femmes. Le ministère de la Santé a continué pour plaider et public là, pour prendre plus de responsabilité, pour protéger la santé et l'autre qui au lieu. Il y a aussi ni tous les deux la vaccine qui avait là-bas présent, AstraZeneca et Pfizer. C'est le qui travaille et puis agence de santé publique Caribla pour essayer d'improver santé et protection citoyens et les étrangers qui ont visité le pays. Session du Parlement pour les jeunesses concernant la justice des climats qui a commencé jeudi, le 23 septembre 2021 à 9h du matin face au public des services Internet. Session Parlement pour les jeunesses concernant la justice des climats, c'est une collaboration entre le projet de justice des climats en Caribla et le Conseil régional de jeunesse Caribla. 15 jeunes gens sortis en divers pays à Caribla qui ont participé dans l'exercice débat qui a crié pour action bien fort pour le changement des climats et la justice des climats pour les citoyens Caribla. Cérémonie officielle là pour commencer session parlement ça là yon sept grec qui a adressé cette cérémonie ni en commencement et aussi en finissement et pour commencement cérémonie ça là assistant secrétaire général national ça c'est M. Selwyn Hart qui a adressé cérémonie yon l'autre grec ça c'est Fabien Cousteau qui c'est T.H. Jacques Cousteau qui a adressé, Barbara Pyle, qui est directeur exécutif et producteur d'un programme de télévision qui montre connaître qui est apporté à Captain Planet, qui a aussi adressé, Taj Wicks, un musicien international, qui aussi c'est un Saint Lucians, qui aussi c'est un travailleur bonne volonté, qui a pour famille dans ces chansons-là, ça c'est Dark Clouds, musicien et joueur orchestre Steel Pulse, et joueur bass guitar orchestre Talking Dreads, qui a performé et pays. Pour faire la cérémonie, executive directeur de cette commune Caribla pour changement des climats, ça c'est Dr. Colin Young, qui a adressé la cérémonie. Aussi, Ruana, ça c'est Ruana Haynes, un spécialiste des lois internationales en affaires changement des climats au Trinidad, qui a adressé. Il y a un grec des conseils régional et jeunesse, Caribla, ça c'est Anya Edwin, qui a adressé, Dr. James Fletcher, qui est chef projet de justice climat à Caribla, et aussi Kendall Hippolyte, qui est un écrivain poésie, aussi qui est très engagé dans les affaires de l'environnement, quand il y a ses poésies. C'est comme ça que nous avons une nouvelle là pour aujourd'hui, monsieur, madame. Je vais remercier autant pour garder mon invitation. Pour je puis encore, si Dieu conserver la vie, je vais poser l'autre nouvelle en créole. Après ça, je vais poser au Chanel.
Merci Apil Primus. We now take a look at the weather.
Forecast for Saint Lucia, valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the east, southeast, and east near 12 miles per hour or 19 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter at times. Weather, fair to partly cloudy skies with a few brief showers. There is a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. Seas, slight, with waves 2 to 4 feet or 0.6 to 1.2 meters. Tides for Castries Harbour were high at 4:26 p.m. and will be low at 11:59 p.m. Tides for Viewfort Bay were high at 5:33 p.m. and will be low at 12:04 a.m. A strong tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 14 miles per hour or 22 kilometers per hour. Environmental conditions are expected to remain conducive for additional development, and a tropical depression is expected to form within a day or two.
That brings us to the end of NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the St. Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I am Janelle Norville.